Hello there. Welcome back to Mathematical Literacy grade 10. In this video, we want to look at a question from a question paper of November 2019. And this is the first question, that is question 1 on that question paper. And we're going to look at paper 2. So on the first question, it reads, your friend Kim has asked you to help him with his bank statement. He's sure there are some errors on the bank statement and some things just do not make sense to him. Below is a copy of Kim's bank statement. So you're given a bank statement there. So if you go down the bank statement, you'd see that beneath that we have got information that we are given. We have got a note which reads EFT, means electronic funds transfer, and we are given information that we have to go through before you start answering the question. And then beneath that, it reads use the above bank statement to answer the questions below. So the first part of the question, that is 1.1.1, reads determine the missing value of A. So we are going back to the bank statement and try to see where do we have our A that we need to calculate. So if we come here, you'd see that this is where we are having our A, which we need to calculate. So what we are going to do is we are just going to make our calculations basing on the previous balance that we are given. Then at the previous balance that we are given, before we are having our row for A, we are having this balance, which is 10,887. And remember, whenever we credit on the bank statement, it's a plus. It increases the value for our previous balance, and then also if you debit, it represents a negative. And also we're having a column that we are having for fees, and the fees comes as a charge. So obviously it's going to reduce again at the balance that we have on the bank statement. So we are also going to have a negative. So we are just going to start with that figure that we have, which is 10,887. 11 cents, and then we go to the figures that we have for the current debt, which is 125 rands 60 cents, and that is on the debit side. And we are saying we are subtracting, so we are going to subtract 125 rands 60 cents, and also we subtract one. Here we are having 1 rand, so we are going to subtract again 1 rand. Then we get the balance for A. So basically, we are saying on the first part, which is 1.1.1. We are going to just show or summarize that calculation that we've just summarized there. So if you come here, we're going to say 1.1.1, and we are saying we are going to say A is equals to, we have got our 10,000 being the previous balance, 10,887.11, which is 1, and then we are going to subtract your 125 francs 60 cents, and then we subtract again the 1 rand. So if you calculate it as such, you are going to see that you are going to get your answer. Your answer is 10,760.51, which is 51 cents. 10,760 rands 51 cents. So this is the answer that we have for the first part of the question, which is A. Then if you go to the second part of the question, saying 1.1.2, and it reads, Kim claims that there is a mistake in the piece column. Indicate where this mistake occurred and verify with the necessary calculations whether the statement is valid or not. So we go to the column of the fees as stated and try to see what information do we have there for fees. So the question, if you go back to the question again, the question is saying Kim claims that there is a mistake in the fees column. So we are going to go through what all the figures that we're having in the fees column and try to see where the mistake is. So we go there and see on the first part of the question, on the column for fees, we have got 15 rand. So we just want to verify whether this 15 rand is correct. So if you come to extra information, we see that you are given instructions in terms of how to recalculate the total figures that we're having in the fees column. So for 15, it's a deposit. So we go where it's explaining about deposit. We see that on the first point is explaining about deposit. It's saying the fee for deposit is 2 rand plus 1 rand for every 100 rands. So what does it mean? It means this 2 rand is fixed. It applies to any amount that will be having as a deposit. So remember, this explanation is only explaining on deposit, And this first part that we have there is also a deposit. So we are going to just apply what we are being instructed there. So basically, we are going to have our 2 rand as fixed, as a fixed charge that is going to be there on the deposit. So we are going to have 2 rand. Then we add 1 rand for every 100 rand. So you see that the total deposit that we have there is 1,000. So we are going to try to calculate how many 100 rands are inside 1,000. So basically, we're going to say 1,000 divided by 100. Then we get a number of 100 rands inside 1,000. And then we multiply by 1 rand, get the total charge for that 1,000 rand. And then we add with a fixed amount that applies to any amount, which is 2 rand. Then we get the total. So basically, we are saying it's going to be 2 rand. And then we add 1 rand times times what total amount that we are having is 1,000, and then we divide it by 100 so that we see how many 100 rands are inside 1,000. And then if you say 100 into 1,000, you are going to get your obviously your 10, and then you multiply by 1 rand to get your 10 rand. And then you add to 2 rand to get your total, and then we verify if it's equal to 15 rand. So if you multiply it like that, you see that if you say 10 times 1 rand, you are going to get 10 rand. So basically, we are going to say 2 rand plus 10 rand. And then obviously, you are going to get your 12 rand. So 12 rand is not equal to 15 rand. So which means this is where the mistake is. So we can just go in on the answer section and summarize that calculation, whereby we are now saying on the second part of the question, which is 1.1.2. We are now saying 1.1.2. We are now saying deposit, a calculation of deposit, whereby we are saying our 2 rand, and then we add our 1 rand, and then we add your 1 rand. So if you add your 1 rand, you see that we add your 1 rand, whereby we are also going to make a calculation of the number of 100 rands in 1,000, whereby we are saying 1,000 rands we divide by 100 rands. And then that's when we are going to get a 10. So if we simplify it further, it's going to be 2 rand plus if you divide there, you're going to get your 10, and then you get your 10 rand. And then if you add there, you see that we are going to get 12 rand, which is not equal to your 15 rand. So basically, this is what we have, and this indicates that that's where the mistake is. So having calculated this, we can now move on to the next part of the question. If you go back there, you see that on the next part of the question, the next question reads, the bank has confirmed that there is indeed an error on his statement. If the error is corrected, what should Kim's balance be on the 28th of January 2019? So what this statement what this question is asking prior to the calculation that we have made earlier, whereby we have indicated that there's an error that is there. But so the question is now wants us to calculate the actual balance that should be there after correction of that error. So if you go back to the question, let's try to see in the question so that we calculate the final balance. So what we are saying is this is what we have. So we are just going to try to see what difference do we have between the wrong figure and actual figure. If we are seeing that the wrong figure that we have there is 15 rand, and the correct figure that was supposed to be there is 12 rand. So what it means is we have got a difference of 3 rand that we have there. So this difference indicates that the figure that was incorrect was higher by 3 rand. So we have to subtract 3 rand from the total that we have after including our 15 rand. So basically, what we are going to do is we are going to add the total, and then we subtract the excess 3 rand that was incorrectly added. So let's just try to go through the calculation. We come here, would see that at the final balance that we have after adding, including the 15 rand, which is incorrect, is 19,718. So this 19,718, it means we inside 19,718 we adjusted for 15 rand. We subtracted a bigger figure there of 15 rand, which was supposed to be 12 rand, and it was bigger by 3 rand. So it means by so doing, we are supposed to add it back. We are supposed to add it back because we added, we subtracted a bigger figure. So to cancel the error, we are supposed to add 3 rand back. So basically, we are saying 19,718. Then we add our 3, which is the difference between 15 and 12. So I will just go there on the other section and summarize that working. So let's try to see. So if you come here, we're now on 1.1.3. So we are saying the total that we have, total balance that we have before adjusting for the error is 19,718 and 1 cent. And then we're going to add the difference whereby we say 15 minus our 12. And if we simplify it further, it becomes 19,718 1 cent. And then we add your 3 rand. We calculate it as such. We are going to get your final answer is, let's try to just subtract there. You see that the final answer that we are going to get is going to be 19,721. 0.01, which is our 1 cent. So this is the final answer that we have. Then we can move on to the next part of the question. Go to 1.1.4. Try to see what does it say. So on 1.1.4, it reads, Kim states that the bank fees for January 2019 will be more than 30 rand. Verify with the lesser calculation whether this estimation is valid or not. Keep in mind that the error is being corrected. So the question is asking us to verify whether the bank fees for January 2019 are going to be more than 30 rand. So basically, we're just going to add the bank fees, and we're going to add after we've made the correction of that excess 3 rand. So we go there to try to see how we are going to calculate it. So if you come here, you see that the column for fees is here. So we are going to say 12 rand. So remember, the correct figure here is 12 rand, and then we add your 2 rand 50, and also we add your 2 rand 50, and add your 1 rand there, and also finally you add your 2 rand 50. So the total that we're going to get also should be, we want to see if it's more than 30 rand. So if you come here with the other section now, we're just going to summarize that working, whereby now we're saying 1.1.4, whereby we are just summarizing the addition part, which is saying 12 rand, add your 2 rand 50. We are also going to add your 2 rand 50, and add your 1 rand, and finally we add your 2 rand 50. Calculate it such calculate correctly, we're going to get your 20 rand 50, which is not more than 30 rand. Remember, the question is saying it's asking us to verify whether the this total is going to be more than 30 rand. So this one is not. So basically, we are just going to make your summary there. You comment by saying his statement is not correct. Why? Because our 20 rand 50 is less than our 30 rand. So this is what we have got with this calculation. So we can move on to the next part of the question, whereby we are now on 1.1.15. Point 1.5 is the next question. So we can just try to go to the question and try to see what does this question ask us to do. So if go to that part of the question, so that is the last part of the question. It is saying state one possible reason why banks are charging fees to their customers. So basically, this is just a general question. It obviously, when banks are charging fees to their customers, they're trying to generate revenue. They're trying to generate revenue. So this becomes one of the major reasons why banks uh, uh, can charge those fees. So on the answer, on the explanation part, we are just going to say so that they can generate revenue, so that they can generate revenue can be a response that we can have there. So we can say to generate income, generate income. So this becomes one of the reasons you can as well try to raise correct answers that are applicable. Another reason that we can raise is that so that they can be able to pay their operating expenses, so that they can be able pay their operating expenses. Operating expenses meaning those expenses that they carry in the day-to-day running of the banks. So so that they can be able to pay their operating expenses. For example, payment of wages and salaries can also be an operating expense. So that's the reason why they charge those fees, so that they can receive income and use that income to pay for their operating expense. So this is what we have upon this video, guys. Those who have subscribed, please subscribe and share. We're still coming with more videos. Yes, for this video, I'm signing out.